Steven, remember me?
Who is this?
You tell me.
Where are you at?
It's showtime. Don't you know history repeats itself?
Well, fine then. Why don't you get on the screen and show yourself?
My pleasure!
It's a simple game, Steven. You should have told me where your shark is. Now, you lose.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kaiju Storm with Geek Life Room here. Steven,
What's going on today, man?
how you doing, man?
Pretty good.
You feeling better?
Good. I'm 100% fine. I can't smell. I've given up on smell.
I think it'll take a bit of time to recover that.
Yeah. But no, I'm good. Everything's good. It's hot down here like last time, but everything is great.
That's good. Well, at least, you're alive. That's a good thing right there.
Yeah. That's why we're doing this. We're having fun, talking about what we want to talk about. It's great. Everything's good.
Exactly. All right. So, those of you who may think, why am I wearing a Halloween costume in August? We have our mid topic today. We're going to be talking about Scream. We're going to be talking about all the stuff. The other stuff what are they again, Steven?
We're first going to go over what we've got this weekend. I think I've got a lot of surprises in. You look like you've got a surprise in. We're going to cover Scream and the impact, and then we might move to some anime villains.
Yes, definitely we will do that. Apologize. I think this whole outfit makes my brain go really, oh gosh, foggy, man. Damn, heck. There's no wonder they don't sell those costumes in the Halloween store because, if they did, I think people will have a hard time, breathing in and even moving. It has some weight to it.
Yeah, you can see it from there. It's a lot thicker, just looking at you through the computer screen than, it looks like my costume. I've got a mannequin over here just draped on a costume, and yeah, yours looks like it's actually clothes compared to a shawl.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, I was thinking of getting a mannequin statue just to put the costume on it. But I know if I did that, I will freak out at nighttime. Look, listen, it's like you walk into your apartment and then you see a guy in there. It could be anybody, and then you just starting to move. I was like, oh, no, thank you. I don't want to have a heart attack yet. But this costume is fantastic. It's it's a basic costume that he has on anyway. And
yeah,
it has the Velcro on it, so you can open here perfectly and close it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very black here. But
yeah.
You close it there. You have a little string here to tighten up the hoodie a little bit. But I like how the hoodie is. It's very big, and the problem with the Halloween store, they make it look like it's a scary movie version.
Yeah.
Like the very basic one, and also the Scream season 3, I think, on Netflix, which I really hate so much. But I don't recommend anyone to watch that one.
I've never seen it. I didn't even know there was a show.
I think season 1 and 2, they were really good because they were doing their own thing, and I respected that. The costume looks really bad, but at the end of the day, it was actually a pretty good series. They made a good show based on the characters and everything. Something, we would like to see more in movies, but we don't. But I think it takes place in Louisiana. If I'm not
I might check it out. My wife loves Scream. She was super excited when we started doing this, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to watch this, at work. I'm going to watch it as soon as he gets it out. So she's really excited. And I bet she don't even know that there's a Scream TV show.
I heard good things about it, but I gave season 3 a shot because I had the actual costume in, but I could tell the difference in there. This looks like a typical CVS costume, and the tightness on it, you can tell it's really thin. The material is very thin, and I don't know. There was just something about it which looked really off. Full expect a basic costume to be easily made, right? But they overcomplicated.
Did they? I mean, this goes along with what we're talking about. Scream. Did they finish and wrap the season up at 3, or did it get canceled and it just kind of left it there?
Oh, they finished season 3 a while ago. I think last year or 2 years ago. But
Okay.
but it's so bad that they may end up doing another reboot or continuing season 2, depending how they are. You know, who knows what's going on with the business? But yeah, I'm a huge Scream fan, especially for the first to the third film. Fourth film, the characters were likable. I do respect that. I mean, the whole team. When you see the whole crew in there, back in there, I thought they had good chemistry. That was good.
Yeah.
But I felt like the plot, the motive, I was like, really? This feels like, I don't know. I mean, I would say Scream 4 was a better script than season 3, which has a similar.
That's saying a lot.
It has a similar motive, but I feel like Scream 4 had a better way of expressing it. I did like Jill as the killer. I thought she put a good killer in there. I thought she had good potential, but I felt like her partner, Charlie, I think it was.
I agree with you, Charlie. They he was too typical. I mean, I'm not going to say that I guessed it was him straight up, but when me and my wife was in the theater and I said, I don't know who it's going to be. I wanted it to be like Dewey or one of the main characters. I really wanted a crazy ending, but I said, if it's not one of them, it's going to be him and maybe 2 other people. I figured they would up it up to 3 killers just to be different, but of course they did. Sydney's niece, she really, a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. Her reason was so right, like wanting to be famous, her 15 minutes of fame and everything. Like I liked how they went there with that. But the order of the movies came out is actually the order of my favorite ones. That don't happen too often, but it starts off like that. Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of what they had in mind. Like, she wanted the media to be focusing on her, become famous. Well, that's something, what most serial killer has. Like Ted Bundy had that. Richard Ramirez had this.
Yeah.
Dahmer had that too. I mean, that's something they could relate to. You could relate to a serial killer that you've seen in the past history. And I thought it was pretty good. I just thought, some of the stuff has some flawness in there, which really annoyed me. Charlie was annoying. He was just the ruining of the movie for me. I did not buy his motive at all. I thought he was just a simpleton that was just there. Like, this is not Stu. This is not Billy. This is not Billy's mom or Mikey, or this is not Roman, the half brother of Sydney. Those guys, they left a legacy.
Yeah, I'm not justifying what they did, but I feel like at least, they had a reason, Each one of them had a somewhat stable reason. But yeah, that dude was just around they wanted him to be the horror nerd. It was almost like in an emo version of Stu.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean,
and because I know when Scream 1 came out, I was a kid, and I thought Stu was the killer.
Yeah, I mean, Stewie was. I mean, in this first film, I don't know. It was very predictable to know who the killer was. I mean, Billy, come on, man. It was just the obvious shot. I mean, the guy was always there whenever, something happened. It's just a look on his face that made him look psychotic. Like, it's the eyes. I don't know if you noticed in the film, but when he looks at you, it looks like he's gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm. And see, that was the perfect red herring. That was what we thought was going to be the killer, and it kind of flip-flopped because we're like, okay, he's too much like he's going to be the killer, so he is the killer. And they're like, well, that's too predictable. And then they turn around, yeah, he was the killer. I really like that. That was
this switch it around. Like, they try very hard to make it look like he's innocent and all that, but at the end, you make it think like, oh, he's dead, he got stabbed, wounded, and all that. But no, that was a whole part of the game for him. And I guess when I was little, I couldn't really figure that out correctly because it was difficult for me to understand what they were trying to say, like a motive and all that. I mean, now that I look at it, I mean, yeah, sure, that makes more sense. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like Scream 2 for me was better, well executed because it was very. You couldn't tell who was the killer in there.
No,
Literally,
no.
like no way. There was no way you could figure it out. You will think maybe Gale will be the killer, or maybe
Yeah,
Andy will be the killer, or maybe someone Sydney knew very well. But no, it was just some nobody like Mikey who was extremely psychotic inside of his head, but like was taught very hard to become educated. Like who
yeah,
you will think Billy's mom? I was like, wow, what a that's
yeah,
something you don't see every day. Well, technically Friday the 13th, but
yeah,
I like that idea. I thought it was well put together, and I don't know. Like I like the fact it was a female this time, the killer, and I always had this idea in my head. I'm looking at the mask. I'm looking at the shape of the body of the killer. I'm like, there's something very feminine about that. I wonder if it's not a female. It was a female the whole time, and you hear those roaring noise when she like jumps on the table when she attacks Gail. Like you can hear it's her. It's Billy's mom screaming or attacking Sydney, and I was like, oh, those little details right there,
yeah.
awesome. And she was left-handed the whole time. The killer was also left-handed too.
Mhm.
That was some good stuff I liked about it. The things that makes you think a little. They give little things that makes a film pop out a lot more. I like
It
that.
gives you a lot of rewatch value because there's stuff, yeah, like you said about the left-handed. I picked up on that. I hadn't watched Scream 1 this year because it's going to get a 4K release, and my wife wants to get that. But we watched Scream 2, 3, and 4 already, and yeah, I noticed that the left-handed that was the indication because yeah, you go back with open eyes, all seeing eyes. A Scream one I saw. I want to say in the movie theater. I think I was too young and I shouldn't have went there with one of my uncles. Scream 2, I did, the same old story about going to Blockbuster and getting it. And I had no indication about the mom.
Yeah.
Like it was so left field. It was awesome. Looking back, do you think she was strong enough to put up with all that? Maybe.
I mean,
And,
she was a sane person. She was a sane person. Like she was not insane. Like she knew what she was doing. She was just getting old-fashioned revenge because
yeah.
Sydney killed her son. But you can't always say that. Technically, you left your son. That may drive him crazy inside of his head. So you can't always blame everything on the other person. You should blame yourself too for what you did. But like at the same time, you could tell in her eyes, she did have regrets. She did regret leaving her son behind like that. And I don't know if we had a what if, what if Sydney, instead of killing her, she tried to reason with her.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
That would have been something new and fresh. Something I would have wanted to see in Scream 3 too, because Scream 3, I do get the motive in there. I think the Scream 3 was pretty much an early incarnation of Harvey Weinstein stuff. Like how Sydney's mother was raped several times by those producer films to make her to a star, and how, all that, it's like the son who was born, like a Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I picked up on that too, yeah.
Son of all the rapists, basically, and he's being ditched. He's being, ignored by everyone, and he thought he could find his mother and embrace her and all that, but no, that didn't happen. It backfired on him completely, and because of the trauma she remembered from the past, and she wanted nothing to do with that. Well, oh man, the ending of Scream 3 for me was like a little bit disappointing because I felt like it felt a bit too comedy. A little bit too comedy because I feel like the fact that he comes back up and he's getting shot over and over, and I'm like, aim for the head, like and then he has this stupid look expression on his face.
Wasn't it a bulletproof vest or something he had on?
I thought a good idea because I was like, okay, that makes sense because a serial killer, in real life, you get shot, you die like that.
Yeah.
But the fact he was wearing a bulletproof vest, like he was doing this and he was showing, I was like, oh man, that's pretty good. But as soon as he unmasked himself, I'm like, okay.
I I didn't call the killer in Scream 3, and I even on rewatches, I still trying to, and I don't think the last time we watched it because like I said, I was talking to my wife and we did like she's like I wouldn't have figured that out, and I'm like I don't think I had any indication of every rewatch that he did that.
Yeah.
Because they tried too hard, like almost like part one where they made you think Billy was the killer. Then I'm like, okay, he's not the killer. Then he is. When this one, what was it? The woman, the voice changer from the future. I don't even think that technology exists now, even to change your voice. But when that woman went to the scenes changed. Now we're going back to my office, and there's somebody ghost faced, and I'm sitting here. And I'm like, nah, they're pushing this dude too hard to be the killer. And they're not going to copy part one, him like be redeemed, then come back to be the killer. So yeah, I had no indication it was going to be him at all.
I mean, like, what a better way of saying, all the good gadget that he has comes from a producer himself, film director, basically, who will have that kind of technology. But like, I guess that makes sense. I still have a good time watching Scream 3 by all means. It's a nostalgia film for me. Like, I cannot hate that film. I know a lot of people have a lot of hatred against that film, but like I'm like, it's not the worst one out there. Really, it is not. When they did Scream 4, I was like very scared of it. I was like, oh gosh, what are they gonna do new? I mean, seriously, what new are they gonna do?
What are they going to do new in January? They've got well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 3 is that's the soft spot for me. And I know I told you earlier I like them in the order they come out, but I could see 3 just due to nostalgia wiggling up to number 2. But the fake house and the mother talking and the blood, the gore effects in there, that was really good too. Like that was spooky. I will admit that.
Oh yeah, like when she looks at you, like she moves her eyes. Oh, that's kind of spooked me up. I was like, dude, that's scary, man. I'm like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to. Like,
well, and then when she's at Sydney's house on the window, and it's like a manifestation of her mind and everything. I'm like, no, Ghostface is supposed to be scary in this movie. Not the ghost.
He's like a
mom
person that will drive you crazy, and like, I mean, sure, I don't know if you some photographic stuff, but like, I don't know, but oof.
But then that's when I started thinking, is Sydney the killer?
Yeah, like it gives you that kind of idea.
Was that what they were doing? I'm like, okay, is Sydney the killer? They did set the cop up too, like it was supposed to be her love interest.
Cop too, but it wasn't him. But like,
yeah. Now that love interest was super weird. Like he was a borderline. The way it was set up was he liked her anyway. Like he was examining her anyway.
I mean, I didn't really mind him too much. I thought he was likable. I mean, he's a famous actor nowadays. Like before, he was pretty much nothing, but now he's like,
he went on to do a lot of stuff. But no, like I don't know that again. I watch these with my wife all the time, so she's all the time in my ear. She's like, he was had all these files on her, and then like just because like there's no chemistry at all, and then just because like he saves her life, they're all eating popcorn together, and it looks like they're all going to get married and live together. And I'm like, that was kind of hokey. I will say that. Yeah. But again, I watched that movie with blind eyes because, nostalgia.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Scream 3, I mean, for me, it was the perfect conclusion of the trilogy.
Yeah.
I thought it was concluding everything. Okay, we know why Scream 1 happened. We know, I mean, Scream 2, we don't really know why it happened. I mean, we know already the mother.
The circle. Yeah, it was complete.
Exactly. The Scream 4, I felt like, what the heck are they going to do? Like, I don't know. When I looked at the film, I was like predicting already what's going to happen. Oh, I guarantee you, this guy's the killer, and this girl right here who's innocent and all that is a killer.
Yeah.
Predictable. Like,
Yeah. I don't know about Scream 4, man. Like I said, I'll sit here and like I said, it had some good stuff, but I mean, I'll pick it apart easily than any of the other movies.
Like I like how they did the hospital scene. I thought that was a Halloween 2 style that they try to go for, which I don't mind that because I always love the hospital scenes from Halloween 2. But like, I did like that, but I felt like it could have been executed better. The film itself could have been executed better because I'm like, it's 2011. If you're gonna make a full film, you better make it better than the first and second and third. But that didn't happen. It was a big flaw. when it came out.
What
And
was it? I didn't know if it was a flop. I remember, like I said, I saw 3 in theaters. I think I was in middle school, and then me and my wife went and saw 4. We were together. I was probably in college. Yeah, 4.
I don't have.
Like I like them all. Like I said, I like them all. They all have rewatch value. I know some people don't think that, but I watch 4 every year, maybe every other year.
Yeah.
But it's still in there as the set. But you see, a lot of people were criticizing it at first, saying, "Is Wes Craven going to be involved? If Wes Craven's involved, it's going to be good." But if you look back at Wes Craven's history, he is really hit and miss. Like I'm probably one of the only 3 people that like My Soul to Take. That was a decent movie. He did too, but that was a giant flop. So I mean, that's the great thing about Wes Craven, though.
I remember when I looked at the VHS of Freddy Krueger of New Nightmare. On the back, it says the creator of Scream. It's like, really? Scream? No wonder I like those films. And I was like, because I recognize his artworks usually. I was like, there's something very similar with them, like with Scriptwise. And another underrated film that he did was also Red Eye, I think.
Red Eye, yeah.
I
love Red Eye. Believe it or not, my mom told me to watch that movie.
The guy used was actually the same knife from Scream. Actually,
really, I didn't know that. But I can. But now, yeah, like you said, it's Scream. It's going to be forever. No what ifs or what. It's Scream.
The mask is iconic, extremely iconic. I mean, you go to every store, Halloween store, you're going to see this mask. I remember as a kid, I used to see this mask a lot, and I was like, "What is that mask?" I'm wondering what. And my sister, she's a huge horror fan too. She told me that's Scream. I was like, really? What is Scream? Oh, it's a serial killer. Like he calls his victims, asks them a few questions based on movies, and if you answer wrong, he kills you basically. But like, oh, that sounds very interesting. I need to watch that with the costume and all that. I was like, oh, man, I gotta dress like this for Halloween. And yeah, it was exciting for me. Good times for that. And
now, Ghostface cost my mom, I think, $600. You remember the mask that would pump blood?
Yeah,
yeah. We were coming back from trick or treating one night, and where I just kept messing with it all night. That thing cracked in the car and got all over the beige seats and everything. And talking about, it looked like literally somebody got murdered in the back car. And this is back again, like I said, because I watched Scream with my uncle, the first one in theater. So it's way back then, probably the year it came out or maybe the year afterward. And I don't know what it cost, but I think they had to take the seats out. I don't know if they could clean them, and I had to reupholster them and everything.
I know.
So
I definitely know what you mean, because I had the same problem too when I had that mask. I think I did something stupid. I used a scissor and I tried to cut the damn wire because that wire was on me. I was like, I tried to hide it in the costume, but that thing was so obvious. Like it made my head looks like I can't even breathe, and I couldn't even put the hoodie on because it had this huge plastic around the mask that made it very difficult to put, as a kid costume on, and it made the head look super big. And then, yeah. But I did like the shape of the mask because I thought it was the most accurate one that we had so far at that time.
I like the cool thing about Scream too, while we're talking about the mask, was like Fearsome Faces. Like I don't remember that far back, but that was almost like that was a mask that was already out, right?
It was. I think
they made it a little bit better, molded it a little bit more.
Yeah, like they kind of molded their own at one point. Like the goofy mask you see in some of the scenes, like called the Oxy something mask. Like it looked like it's the worst looking mask ever, but I was looking for that one. It's because I noticed in the film, so what does it look different in some scenes? I'm like, sometimes it looks very cheap looking, and sometimes it looks more organic like this. But like, it kept on changing and changing. That's because they couldn't use that mask anymore because due to licensing, so they had to use this mask for the time being. I think the goofy one was the one that was originally out there.
I know there's some money now because I sold a couple last year. Fun World of Easter something or whatever they're called. Yeah, I saw them. They were really good money because to me, what you've got on looks perfect. I mean, I might have to go back and zoom and stop scenes, but to me, that's Ghostface. It might, yeah.
I love this mask. This one, I was lucky. I found it at CVS. It was when it came out, and this was like an exclusive one that they had for a while. but like I'm looking at it, it has no flaws on it. It looks exactly like
It looks pretty good.
Scream 2 was, but like, and it doesn't glow because his mask never glow in the dark. But like, I like this. It's more realistic. It's in good shape, good condition. It's stronger material too, and it has something to attach it for your head. Because remember, sometimes in the past ones, I kept them moving all the time in the head. It's annoying. One, you're gonna be out of breath. like you're gonna feel like passing out by the time you reach your victim. But yeah, I like it, and it goes really well with this costume. On top of that, it's the reason why I chose Scream 2 costume, because this mask goes well with that one. The first costume will go better with an older mask, I think. I don't know, just the way that I've noticed in the film, and I do prefer the Velcro on him better.
Yeah,
but the Scream one didn't have any Velcro; it had a V-neck to strain it. But this one is good because it's more realistic, more iconic, I think, and it feels more comfortable too. So like, I don't know, wish the hands they made it, touchscreen too. Those gloves do touchscreen on the phone, but like, and it's
I mean, I like it. If I could, get away from some payments and some stuff and stop buying stuff, I'd get me one and make me a mannequin, because I really want to do some life size, props.
Oh, we can just buy,
Gimme head?
Bust. A bust.
Oh, a bust. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought you meant something. Yeah.
Bust from Scream, and then, then resell it, request a partial refund for it, There you go. like
Yeah. We just got canceled.
Yeah.
Leave this in when you go to do stuff. No. But I'm looking at my ghost face right now, and it's no big. It's probably 5 foot. It's not realistic looking. It wasn't from Spirit. I don't know if you've got a store called Halloween Express that comes out too. It's from Halloween Express, and I keep all my convention and concert badges on it. And that ghost face is, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They did a special edition where they were red and had devil horns. And he's looking at me now. And
yeah. I did see those actually recently. They go for a lot of money too.
Yeah, and that's the only thing to me that sometimes I'll just sell stuff when it gets crazy amounts of money. I've got to sell it. But that is one thing that I've seen go up, and I can't sell it. I love it. I wish they would do that in a movie. They never will.
I kind of like what they did with the Michael Myers mask. For 2018, they did some inspiration from Rob Zombie mask too with that. I could see that definitely. I mean, come on, it's an homage to that too, which I do respect that, because I'm like, don't give him too much hell. Respect him for his movies too, because he's a director too. He's an artist, All artists are going to be different, but like
Chris Anderson made it, and he does a thing with Sean Clark, which that's a whole nother horror thing, and he talks about the mask. When he was doing Halloween Kills, he's like, everyone was fussing at me because it doesn't look like a burnt mask. And he's like, you know what I did? I took one of the master copies from 2018. I set the thing on fire. And of course I had to remold some stuff because, just for the movie, it just wouldn't work. But he said, no, that's what happens when you set latex and whatever hair they made it with on fire. So you get a lot of, he got a lot of heck for that, but
people should just leave those guys alone. I mean, seriously, it's like a little bit over the edge sometimes, but,
I was going to say, I just finally saw your eyes in that mask, and I don't know what's creepier, that seeing your eyes through the mask or what. That's pretty creepy. They should have did that in the movie too. Just let an eyeball wander once in a while. That's got that Jason Voorhees up close vibe.
It's like Stu's. When you see Stu as the killer when he attacks Sydney in her house, you could see his eyes. I don't know if you noticed in the film, but like he's like looking at her with his.
You're right. Now I got to sit here and look at Omega Beast all day, praying to God that $5,000 4-foot Godzilla eventually comes to America.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. And they're making more too right now. They're making a different version, standard version, which looks really good. I liked it for what it is. It kind of reminds me of the Evangelion version.
Evangelion, yeah.
There's a scene in there where his head looks a little bit different, but like. I don't know. That's the reason why I sent you that link on that. I was like, this looks pretty good, man. I was like, because I want to put them beside him. I was like, that's where it comes from, man. I was like, I like it. But yeah. Speaking of Scream, what is your favorite Scream movie? Order.
I told you it was probably 1 through 4 in that order, but if someone would look at me right now and a gun to my head, I would spout out 1. Nothing can beat 1 that series.
I don't know. For me, it's a tough one. I like 1, but I like 2 better for some reason. Like, I don't know. It's just I have a better time with it. Like, I guess it's because I remember seeing the trailer of that film when the VHS was coming out, and oh my gosh, it got me super excited. Like, I was thinking like he was not holding a knife, but like the other weapon that I kept telling you about, like
the size.
The size. Yeah, I thought he was holding that the whole time, but no, that was not the case. He was actually a knife. I guess that was my illusion I had as a kid, but yeah, oh man, I loved it, and I love the fact that he doesn't really speak too much. He just runs after you.
Except the glass door. Didn't he go through a glass door in one of them?
Yeah. Wait,
that might be a scary movie. I might have got confused.
I don't know, but like the glass door, I don't. Oh yeah, that was Scary Movie. Yeah, that's when that's when Cindy kicks him out of the window, right? She does some thing, and then she kicks him out, and then he's gone.
Yeah, I watched that last night. So I should have watched Scream last night, but I watched Scary Movie. I think they put it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen that one in years, so we watched it. You talking about the scythe, man. All the toys, like I collect NECA, all the NECA toys, he comes with a scythe. So I don't know if it's in your mind as well as it's in my mind, but I remember him with the scythe too in a commercial. Why do they keep giving him a scythe then? You know what I'm saying? If maybe there wasn't a plan, maybe a deleted scene, something.
I don't know, because I used to draw him a lot as a kid, and I used to draw him with a scythe.
It would be perfect. You know, he can't hide it and run around with the scythe probably like he could, but it would have been a good whipping.
But I do remember that, my gosh, I think in France there was a serial killer that actually copied off the Scream. Like, he was actually holding a scythe instead, and he was swinging it at the guy over and over until the guy punched him in the face. And like you see Ghostface falling down to the ground, like you see blood on his underjaw, like mask. I was like, oh sheesh, man! People do take things seriously in movies, but like they don't know the reality and what movies are. And yeah, but the good thing is with me, I know what the reality is. You're not. There's just no way you can go around like that. If you go around like this, you're gonna get killed. That's
especially the damage they were taking and Sydney was putting out. Well, it was a cat fight in a couple of those scenes, so he could hold a scythe, they'd knock it out of his hand, and she could pick it up really easy, versus a knife.
What I like about Sydney is she's a fighter. She's a good fighter. Like
Sydney is the best final girl. I mean, I know I love Jamie Lee, and there's so many horror icons from the 80s, in those Friday movies and everything, but Sydney is the final girl.
And I like Gale. Gale, she's like the brain to because you see her developing a lot in each movies. Like she's growing, and that's something you don't see much in characters these days. But like I like that. Dewey though, he's always getting injured. Every movie he's in, he's always getting injured. Like,
and you think he's dead?
I'm like, dude, your resume, even in Scream 3, they made fun of it. Like, dude, your resume is like pretty much you getting
escaping death.
Like, I think it's the second film, the ending when he's like alive and he's like under strong mask because he's losing breath. Oh, girl. Oh. I was like, are you serious? I'm like, oh my goodness. The guy, he just never gets a break on his back, man. He's always getting hit on his back.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather get stabbed a bunch of times and make it through 3, Scream attacks, Ghostface attacks versus, just KO in once. But that's one gripe about the movie, if we're going to start moving toward, some faults, is their love story. I mean, it's almost like they have to be disconnected, except in 4, they're finally married. But, like, you notice in every movie, 2 and 3, they separated off screen, and magically get back together.
I thought it was a more realistic tone because if you think about it, Gale, she's a journalist, opportunist person, and she has an ambitious in her, which is who she is, you know. And Dewey, you know, he likes her the way she was, and you know, like I guess you know it's chemistry that works, and plus in reality they were together in real life, so that was a good thing about it that gives them more depth to the film. It's sad that they separated for the full film. You can tell there was something off. That like the chemistry was a little bit off, and and oh well, things happen. But like you know,
but yeah, that makes sense now that you said that. Yeah, she just goes off. The story is gone. They get together. They hot fling, and then somebody got killed across the country. Dewey don't want to go.
I like them a lot, and Scream 2 and Scream 3. I thought they were great in those movies. It just grew more and more, and I don't know. They're likable people and characters in those films. You know, you cannot hate them. Like it's just impossible, and I like them. It just I don't know. Scream 3. I had a soft spot for that film too, but like I like it because you can see Dewey. He has so much love for her, and you know he's very protective of her, and that's how a couple should be. You know, the man should always be protective of his wife. Like you know that's good. And the full film was pretty much you know they're married and all that, but like you know. I don't know. There was something missing in there.
I will say the worst part of Scream 3 is when he threw the knife and he missed the blade and he got knocked out. I'm like, don't even put that in the movie, man. Not like,
and then somehow he had another knife. He had a bunch of knives under his sleeve. Like I'm like, what are you, Freddy Krueger? Like, come on, man. Like,
it's like now that took me out of the movie. I don't know if this ever happened to you. Like, you're really into a movie.
Yeah. Like
for some reason that took me out of the movie, you know, and now looking back, I can laugh at it. But at first, like it's brand new and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh man, Dewey's going to get stabbed in this one and live. But then it don't even like stab him. It just hits him in the head.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, for some reason, that's Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. But like,
I'll see Mokuba's head.
For some reason, like, I like the fact that, there was only one killer in the third film. Because
it made it more personal.
Exactly. And I thought that made him a little bit more stronger. Because the fact he had to do everything on his own. Like, he didn't have to rely on someone else to help him. Because all the other killers had to have help with someone. There was just no way they could have done it all alone. But him, he did it all. And he was pretty much the mastermind of everything. It's just that I feel like they should have removed that little comedic thing that he had with, because I thought he was a little bit too childish. He felt like a kid who never grew up.
And he had all that money to do whatever he wanted. He thought he was going to get away with it.
Got all that money. Move on with your life. Do better with your life. Don't live in the past, man. But like, yeah, the minor stuff that I had with it. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is what people hate that film because of this guy was pretty much the obvious spot in there. Like, I don't know, when he had the voice changer and all that, he could be anyone else. I thought it was just a little bit hilarious.
Star Wars
like in the beginning when he uses Cotton's voice, like kill his girlfriend. It's like, now open the damn door so I can freaking kill you inside. I was like, what?
I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean to scare you that bad. It's me. Come on, open the door.
What are you doing?
What?
What the fuck are you doing?
I was just, you know, trying to take the game to the next level. I'm sorry. Come on, open the door, Chris.
Game?
Yeah, the game.
What are you talking about?
Talking about how much fun it's gonna be to rip your insides out. Now open the fucking door, Christine!
Oh my God!
No, it felt like the guy was so aggravated with the girl because she was asking so many questions. I'm like, just open the freaking door, damn it, so I can just finish.
I wanted to see more Cotton. I will actually say that.
Yes,
I really like
what they did with Scream 2 with him. They brought him in Give him more depth. I was like, I like that. In the third film, he was a god.
Yeah, he's halfway developed, and we're like, oh, cool. Cog's gonna go join the group. Now we're gonna kill him off.
I wanted him to join the group because I thought it was pretty good. But one thing I do respect him about is that he was very loyal to Sydney. Like he did not tell the killer what he was.
Yeah,
he was very loyal to her. Like he didn't backstab her behind her back. Like you will expect someone to do. So like, really care for them. But like no, he did. He had a personality. He respected her, and so I like that. But I still hate the fact that he died.
Okay. Here's the question before we move on.
Yeah.
What out of all four? Before we talk about number 5, I should say, out of all 4 movies so far, what is the worst? Underlying problem or what you don't like about the movies?
The first film, I guess, there's some scenes, if you notice in the film, it can't be realistic. There's just no way you're going to dress up in a costume and follow you in the grocery store or in a liquor store.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. They will stop you on camera and all that. Like, you got to use your brain a little bit. I was like, no, it doesn't seem realistic. And then somehow he's in the bushes spying on her. And then, there's a theory on that film that it's actually Roman in there. Because he's actually the one who knows everything what's going on. So I guess that would make sense. First film, I wanted the girl. What's her name? Sydney's best friend. I forgot.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Tattoon something, right?
Yeah.
Tattoon. Yeah, that was her name. I wanted her to live. Man, I wanted her to live. She had a strong character in her. I liked that a lot about her. She was very protective of Sydney. That was a good depth out of her. I wanted to see more of that. I wanted her to see kicking more of Ghostface's face, man. Because she gave a battle to Ghostface. She threw bottles at him, and you can tell it was hurting him a lot. Because damn, it's glass hitting you, man. Smacking against you. Oh man.
They're real people in the movie. It's not like in other horror movies. So he's getting his butt. Yeah.
And as a real actress, as a real person in life, she's a fighter too, which I do respect that a lot about her, which I wanted to see more in that. Yeah, I was very annoyed. And the second film, I will say my big disappointment was Randy. Randy's death. I was very disappointed. I wanted him to live because I thought, he's a likable guy. And then
you don't kill your white mage, and that's what they did. Like.
Yeah, but I do like his death. The way that they've done it for him, I thought that was a pretty, it was a sad death. We have to expect this in the movie. And those movies, we have to expect that. But I do like the way they've done it with him. It could have been worse. It could have been, a stupid killing way. But the way he was provoking Billy's mom the whole time, calling Billy a bunch of names, and that got her really angry.
Yeah.
And I grabbed him, and you wouldn't even expect that she was in the van the whole time watching them. That was a surprise shock, because how do you kill somebody in public without being seen?
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty well done way of doing it. Smart way, I will say. But I'll say it was too soon. It was a little bit too soon. I wanted him to do more in the film. And I remember when I saw him in the third film, I was a little bit sad. I was like, oh, man, like I could have been in the third film, man. But no. And then the third film, I will say Cotton's death. A bit too soon. A little bit way too soon. He should have been in the film a little bit more. Give him more depth, more chemistry. I thought he was a likable character. For some reason, I liked him in the second film. I thought he was a likable guy. He's a guy who's trying to find his innocence and all that, and you could relate to the guy because he was poorly accused to be a killer. Yeah. He wasn't. He was an innocent guy the whole time.
Yelling everything, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, and then in the third film, he gets killed off completely. But yeah, that was some flaws. And then the actor Roman, I thought the ending was a little bit too cheesy. Like he felt like a kid whining about his teddy bear being stolen and all that. And then in this comedic way when he's like getting shot over and over, you're stupid, and then he gets shot over and over. Like it felt too silly at one point. And then the fourth film, I don't like Charlie. I thought he's the guy who ruined it all for me. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I hate this being the critical guy, but the guy ruined the film for me.
was going to say, yeah, you pretty much repeated what we've done talked about, so you must have really not liked those. And okay, so I've got one underlying problem.
Yeah, what is it?
For one of my favorite franchises, top 4 favorite franchises, it turns into a gunfight at the end of every one, I believe, except 4. The fourth
one, she was shot first, and then she was.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like who
revived.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like it's almost like I guess there's nothing wrong with horror action, but it's who's grabbing the gun, and you go from being this like almost immortalized killer because again you don't see the face, but then again I've heard people talk. Once the masks come off, the guns come out. They're not demonized anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not horror anymore. It's just
that is true, actually, because I remember when you see Mikey coming out, he has the knife on.
Mm-hmm.
When he removes the costume, he gets the gun out. The gun out.
So I've just answered the truth to my own complaint. But yeah,
first film when Billy, he just reveals himself to be the killer. He shoots Randy on the shoulder, but then they mix it up together too. They use the knife, and I don't know. Well, it just at that point, I think they were all both done. It was already.
Well, what are we gonna do? Let's close it.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I guess that's the one thing I will say. Yeah, I could agree with that. But then again, how do you have the more power with the knife or the gun? A gun is fast. A knife, you take action.
But a knife is dead. Knife's deadly, if you move, But I will say this: Scream brought us a lot of good and bad movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm not a fan of it because I've watched it 50 times.
Oh man! Oh come on, man! I know What You Did Last Summer. The first film, come on, the first one is good, man. You gotta admit the first one.
No, it's. When I go back and watch it, I think it's because, like a movie you see so many times. Like my wife loves them. We got to watch it every year too. And it's good. I catch myself watching it. Don't get me wrong. But I was obsessed with that movie when I was a kid, probably more than Scream. So, but again, with the same writers, that was good. I've been to a lot of places because when we go up to Wilmington, I believe it was filmed in Wilmington and part of North Carolina and stuff too. I've seen some of the stuff. And that was a cool movie. And then it brought Final Stab, which I don't know if you've ever seen that one. That was a horrible, horrible movie. Scream gave us Chucky's girlfriend because they reinvented, the Chucky series, Child's Play, Bride of Chucky. That was another one. And then again, it brought Jamie Lee Curtis back to Halloween, but they made Michael Myers like Scream. And that's a whole nother argument for a whole nother thing. But that movie did give us Michael Myers back.
Yes, it did. I think it was a sequel to the Halloween 2, right?
Yeah, straight
respect
continuity.
I thought for honestly that was the perfect conclusion for the Halloween.
Yeah.
Like killed off Michael.
Yeah.
Ripped off his head. There you go. The end. You cannot revive from that. There's just no way you can revive. But then resurrection. They messed it all up to the air. Like
they knew that they were going to bring him back. They were already talking about 8 because Jamie signed on for 2 movies. But yeah, that would have been good. But Scream brought us a lot of good movies. It brought us Scream 2 really fast. Didn't Part 2 come out within a year?
1996 was the first film.
I'm pretty sure it was 98, right?
97.
Okay, so that was Money in the Bank. Let's go, baby.
In 1997, we had I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm trying to think I Know What You Did Last Summer 2 came out really fast. Jack Black.
In 1998, I think, yeah. I remember seeing the trailer of that one coming out. Like you see the Hook guy, the fisherman Hook, chasing those girls, and people were screaming and screaming. And I always thought, is that the same director from The Scream? Because they have some very similar vibe into it. But I like the first film for what it is. The second film, oh my gosh, I was a little bit disappointed with it because the whole idea of, how overcomplicated, like him killing off his wife, family, and in a tropical island. And
Then the storm just magically comes, and what's his name? Ray travels Titanic sinking waters in that little boat. Yeah.
the voodoo guy who looks like a lunatic guy. I'm like, what?
And then Jack Black as the weed dealer, the greatest part of the movie. I'm sorry. That was probably the best part of the movie.
So poor. He's like, it's like his head got stabbed poorly, and then he looked. I was like, no, don't. Oh yeah.
And with that being said, I think the last super great '90s movie, and I'm sure I'm missing a bunch, and I'll get roasted in the comments, was Urban Legend. Scream brought us Urban Legend.
Yes, I like the first film. The second film can go to hell.
I didn't even know they came out with a second one, to be honest with you.
She's in there. The killer in there is in there. In the end, you see her face in the mental hospital helping the serial killer. We have a lot of similar things together. Really? Come on.
Urban Legend, that movie made me, for $10 at school, do the Pop Rocks and Coca-Cola. And clearly I'm still alive, as you can tell, But yeah, I did that at school.
The beginning of that film, right? It's like, you'll think the guy at the gas station was a crazy guy, but he was actually trying to tell her that there was somebody in your car with you. And then you see her driving, you hear that music, and then you see the shadow coming out with an axe. Oh man, I did not see that coming.
That was the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I like the motive in there. I thought it felt more realistic, because I'm like, dude, if somebody killed off your love life, and you try to get help, but you cannot let it go, you could go through some serious damage with that too. But like, some of the scenes, they kind of felt fictionized, but it was okay. I do remember my mom, she rented that movie for me, but I had a hard time understanding what was going on. I did not understand what was going on, because I remember I wanted to see a horror film, and it was a Sunday time, and she rented the movie for me. It was actually right across our street. And we had a good neighborhood, actually. We had everything. We had a grocery store nearby. We had a rental video right across of us. Like, oh, gosh, good times, man. But like, and I tried to watch it. I did not understand. All I could see was the killing going on. But like, the plot-wise, I did not understand. But
I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. Now, again, my wife was stuck on 90s movies. The more I think about it and mention her in this episode, she really liked those 90s movies, because Scream Factory came out with it. And like, I'm like, oh my God, this movie exists. And she's like, buy it. We've got to buy it. We want the collector's edition and everything. And I'm like, okay.
I resaw it like, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I think 2015, 16. I rewatched it, and I had a better time watching it this time. I was like, oh man. What a movie. That's actually a good film. I would consider this film as good as Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, it was
good old 90s films, We had good stuff coming out during those times.
It literally was like an energy shot into it. And I will say, if you could pick a trilogy of the 90s, it would be Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Urban Legend. Those three. If someone goes back and says, Steven, pick 90s horror, those are the three I'm picking.
There was the third film called I Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which is the third.
They made a third one?
It's bad. It's horrible. Apparently, the fisherman is a zombie in there, and every time you cut off his hook hand, he regrows one. And,
I'm good. You just told me everything.
There was some good ideas going on with that, but I wish it could have used in the second film. But the film itself was fully gone.
I wonder if it's one of them. They were filming a bunch of stuff like they did in later Hellraiser movies, and they just decided, oh, let's make this an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, and.
No, the guy looks like the Hellraiser guy. I'm not gonna lie. Oh no, he actually looks more like Jeep Creep. Really? Like the head, the face looks a lot like him. But it's just like, I don't know. I thought they were thinking a lot outside of the box during those times. Make a simple film. Don't make it overcomplicated. Make it scary, and they did. I thought. I mean, the 80s was Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween.
And then the 90s was Scream.
90s was the rising of the 90s nostalgia. Scream, the good stuff. Halloween H2O came back.
Scream had a great legacy. Scream, I mean, like there's essays and even the special features on the Blu-ray set had 2 hour and a half documentaries. I mean, Scream is historic. It's it is down as like the big horror movies.
I mean,
Forever.
yeah, I know it's not the best script in the world. By all means, it's not a perfect film. No, but it's iconic.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say what wasn't. I meant to me, if you say Texas Chainsaw Massacre '74 sucks, I'm gonna come through that window. But yeah, it wasn't perfect either. So every classic had its flaws. But there's
like we're not expecting a Godfather movie, but like
Yeah. But no, if you're a true horror fan, and I know I'm gonna get called out on this, but if you're a true horror fan and you say Scream sucks, you've got to at least respect it. You know what I'm saying?
Respect it, yeah, because some people they just don't like it because they expect, it's a serial killer chasing a girl and they die, and there you go. The motive is probably a revenge plot. It's like, okay, fine, we get your sarcasm, but you gotta admit the beauty behind those films is that it's stuff that we grew up with, and it
was a love letter.
The costume. I mean, come on, you cannot just say you don't like that. I mean, it's just iconic, man.
It was a love letter, You
see this, you tell me you don't want to take this home with you. Like, this is something I want to get and keep forever in my life. But oh man, and it smells really good too. Like,
they mixed it with the vanilla, and I remember that, stuff like that.
Now, remember the smell of those when you buy them? It's like vinyl, fresh vinyl.
Back there huffing your Scream mask.
God, still smells, man. I like it.
Man, I want to Scream bust now, man. After seeing you in the outfit and everything, I'm gonna have to figure out something to do, either a life size or a bust or something.
Get the mannequin. If you get the cloak with that, it will look really good. But yeah, I don't know. If I get a mannequin, I will freak out, man. Just especially if there's an intruder in your house and he's actually up as this, and then somehow he moves. Like I don't know.
What was it? It was Belk or JCPenney's. One of those big stores closed down at my mall, and I was in there buying displays, and I bought 4 mannequins complete. I didn't get any women because I don't know why, or I don't want to know why all the women mannequins sold out really quick. But they had some men, and
how much were they? Like $100?
Lord no, man, $25 a piece. They're all scratched up, but then again, if you're going to put clothes and stuff on it.
You're going to put stuff on there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I got some really good display cases I've got out here in my man cave and everything. And then there's some that I bought and I resold to some jewelry stores. So it was really good. But
YouTube, I don't know if you know the guy. I forgot what his name is, but he's a huge Scream fan. Like, he has all the replicas and all the masks from every year that it comes out. And he has this huge mannequin that is 7 feet tall. And he put the Scream costume on it with a glass on top of it. I know that he bought it somewhere with a truck. That thing was heavy as heck because he had to carry.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
Yeah, like that guy is he's a good reference guy. You can definitely know your information from him. But
he's got all those masks and everything and everything. Yeah, he's the one that collects all that stuff.
That's the beauty out of it. It's because you have a hobby, you're a collector, you can respect that. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about collectors. You gotta respect them for what it is. It's maybe something that you're not familiar with, but you do respect them because you have someone like you, but different hobby, different stuff that they collect. As long as it's legal, but yeah, we have kaiju stuff, we have our own statue collection, Dragon Ball Z, we have horror stuff, we have Blu-rays, DVDs, we have all collectors, all kinds of collectors.
That's why I like this podcast, how we're doing. We're about to move on to anime, and we just, we're doing what we want. And I know there's other people out there that like it,
Yeah. You don't have to be a specific line collector. You could be multi-collectors. Because here's the thing. It's like, for me, it's like this. My philosophy for this is that you got to respect all collectors for what they have, because each line has its own beauty in there.
Yeah.
Anime has its own beauty in there. I mean, come on, man. They make some really great statues, figures, mangas, posters.
Oh no! Now you're talking about me. A little bit of everything.
Exactly. So it's everything. You got to respect everything. Because I remember when I was a little bit younger, I used just to collect Marvel stuff, and I had to grow out of that one a little bit. I had to explore a little bit more because I remember when I first saw the SS Monster of Godzilla stuff, I was like, yeah, that's not something I would collect. I don't know why they want to add articulation to a Godzilla. I mean, come on, it's not like he's going to do a Spider-Man move or something, but somehow I got into it. I got addicted to because I like how crisp the figure looked. It looked realistic. Yeah, there's a lot of gaps due to articulations, but I ignore those. It doesn't bother me too much because I kind of grew up with articulation figure stuff. So, yeah, it's stuff like that. Even X Plus. I thought I was not going to collect X Plus because I thought it would be too expensive for me. Look at my collection up there, man. It's like X Plus and then Omega Beast. I thought I was not going to get that guy because I was like, nah, it's going to be too much money, man. And remember how I tell you I was broke again, and I'm like, I don't think I could get it, but I did because I worked my butt off to get that thing. And then
listen to the choir, man. Preach it, brother.
It's like, when you want something, you'll do anything to get it, legally. But like, it's good.
Well, no.
Yeah, but like, it was just like, it's got because look, there's so much BS going on around the world, and you gotta relax. You gotta have fun with your hobby, fun with the people you hanging out with, talking with. Don't always live in the miserable life. There's some people, they go to work, they go to sleep. That's how they live. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the miserable guy. I want to have fun in my life.
I'm glad we got into collecting because that's going to segue into something I want to try to do every episode. What have you? I know you've got the Scream robe, Ghostface robe, so I know you got that in. What else have you had? Did you pre-order anything since we've last spoken and get anything else?
Actually, I got the Junji Ito manga, the censor book.
Okay.
I finally got it. Actually, it's here.
Have you started reading it yet?
No. Hell no. I got more homework to do, but damn, I have it at least. And I like the cover, man. It's really
yeah. I didn't want to spoil it for you last time we talked, but that cover is like the best thing ever. Those colors go together really well.
Very similar to the Japanese version. I saw the Japanese version that they have. It's very similar to that too. But they did their own way, which I do respect that for. I heard it wasn't that the best book ever. Like, I mean, it's not Tomy, it's not Uzumaki, it's not Giryu, but like, it could be worse. I think we all know which one is the one we don't want to talk too much about.
You got to read it though, man. We got to talk about it eventually, like a band-aid.
I know. I'm going to read it. We're going to be doing a podcast as soon as I finish. I'm caught up with all the Junji Ito books. I finished reading them all.
We need to go back and re-talk about it. Yeah.
There's not much I can tell you about it if I haven't read it, but I do like Junji Ito. He's one of my favorite writer. I mean, the guy, he pulls you in, and I know they say that it's not really healthy to read depressing books for your mentality, but those books are adventures too. They will pull you in, see how it is, because it's like watching a horror film, but you're in it, and that's what I like about it. It just reminds me of a lot of my childhood stuff that I used to watch, and those books are old. They're from the late 80s, 90s,
exactly.
And we still haven't got all the books yet. And man, I love the illustration on that. It's beautiful. It's like my Stephen King version of it.
Yeah. Junji Ito is like the manga version of Stephen King in Japan, yeah.
And
I know you got a bunch of anime. Did that come into the Blu-rays?
And also before I leave Junji Ito, I got the Mud Cup here.
I didn't know that. I did not know that existed.
It's on the anime stuff, right stuff. It's in there. I thought, get it, man. Dude, they did good packaging this time. They protected it very well. No breaking. I had a good. I think because I ordered multiple stuff at the same time, and they had to. If I did order one thing, I'm pretty sure they would have messed it up. But dude,
get a box this big, that's pretty cool. I have to pick that. I'm actually going to Books A Million Sunday, and they got a big Junji Ito setup, so maybe they'll have that. That's awesome.
I want to drink this with my tea and all that. That's my cup. I'm gonna wash it, obviously, but I like that cup. Oh, gosh, you gotta watch the anime, man.
I ordered it. It's not here. It's not here yet. Amazon is I don't know, COVID, whatever. But I ordered it. I also got Pet Shop Ahara's Blu-ray because that's an old manga I used to like, and I didn't know they made any kind of anime.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like I will tell you one thing. The anime is depressing. It's comedic, but it's nothing compared to the manga. Definitely not like the manga. The manga has a more of a serious tone. They don't mess around with that. In the anime, it's like parodic.
Yeah.
You'll see what I mean in there.
I'll get around to watching it. How, like I said, Halloween season's coming up.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, aside of the stuff I got some anime stuff. I got. I don't know if you remember seeing this.
Maybe.
Please Twins. Please Twins. I think this is a sequel to Please Teacher.
I know Please Teacher. Okay. I did not.
Like a sequel to it. I have Please Teacher 2 in the back, but yeah, I haven't seen Please Teacher yet, but I heard it was good, better than this for some reason. I was like, really? This one, actually, I got into this one accidentally. I was looking for anime stuff, good anime stuff to watch, because I watched everything on Netflix back then, and I was like, what else is there? And I looked it up online, and somebody recommended this. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I mean, it's in 4:3 aspect ratio, so I'm figuring it's pretty early 2000 for that.
90s, 2000.
Yeah, not bad. It's pretty good. And then this one I got Heaven's Memo Pad.
I've heard of that one. I have heard of that one.
This was difficult to get. Last year, I was looking it up. They were asking for $120 to $200 for the Blu-ray. The DVD was going for $60 to $80. But finally, they reissue it on Blu-ray. And this one is pretty recent too. So I guess they did an update on that. And I like it. So far, it's what I remember of. Picture quality is fantastic. An anime section in the back. I keep them all together. My own shuffle of that, and I got these two right there. Please Teacher, I got it finally, so I'm gonna give it a chance.
I remember that one.
And then I got Yamada's First Time. Don't ask me why I like to watch those. It's, I don't know, it's just comedy show. I like to watch these sometimes. Just to,
you like what you like what you just said, man.
All I got, aside the costume on stream I received, and yeah, and I got Nappa for my SH Figures Nappa SDC. That one came on time. Normally, there's delays all the time on that premium site that they have, Bandai Premium. And this one came pretty good, intact, everything. I like it. Then again, I'm a completist for the SH Figures Dragon Ball Z, so I got to get them all. Like, there's no turning back for that.
Hey man, you're lucky though, man. You're gonna buy you a house one day, or at least a nice car. The way some of them going up. I know this week alone, I don't like FedEx. I've learned I'm not a fan of FedEx, and I'll say that I'm probably going to get my post office carrier Christmas present, because a lot of mangas came in this week. A lot of manga, Naruto 1 through 48. I went ahead and read some. The Viz had some issues free online, and I couldn't wait, so I skipped those as I went on. Because up to where Sasuke left, I remember that a lot, so I didn't mind to skip around. But outside of occasionally watching anime and just talking about it, you know, from friends and on online forums, I didn't know nothing about anything past that. So I'm up to the day where Jiraiya died. Spoiler, guys, if you haven't read it since 2007. I cried a little bit. I'm not going to lie, knowing about Naruto's. They don't stop in the second arc. I don't know. This second set, I guess it's called the Akatsuki arc or whatever. And like, you know, then right after Jiraiya dies, you know, Sasuke, that's what I'm reading right now before we started streaming. Sasuke fights Itachi, and then, you know, Obito or Madara tells him the whole story. And I'm like, man, I'm going to get on this stream with you and start crying. But yeah, a lot of manga has come in. Berserk 8, which don't even supposed to come out to the 31st, has came in. Shaman King's come in. I got to get some more bookshelves. And my wife wants books in her room. So not her room, my room, excuse me. So we're going to put them in the room and make like a little bit thing about my manga collection is, outside of 2 or 3 things that's still going, everything I'm reading is back from when I was a kid, like Naruto. I didn't finish it all, One Piece, stuff like that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Speaking in the background, I got it. The only thing that I just actually picked up new I'm reading is A Blade of the Immortal. So I've been picking up those big, thick omnibuses. All the Godzilla omnibuses. I think I showed you a picture of those. Those came in. I got a lot of manga. It looks like I've got a library in my living room where I haven't unboxed it all yet.
Going back with the mangas now, like you're going back back and forth with the nostalgia stuff that we grew up with, and I mean, before it was Rurouni Kenshin, now it's Naruto. I guarantee you're gonna get into One Piece soon. Don't ask me why. I just have this feeling you're gonna get into the One Piece. My best friend on Kansas, he has the One Piece set. He gets a box set each volumes when he can.
Yeah, they do. I think One Piece is 1 through 32 and like 32 volumes per box set. Guess COVID, if you want to blame it. Manga, a lot of people are reading now. I've been talking to a lot of guys. Manga is going out of print that you would never think. Like Bleach, I got box set 2 and 3. And I was out with my mom. I had to take her to the doctor yesterday out of town. And Barnes & Noble, 2 hours away from me, had Bleach set 1 just missing volume 3. And that thing is out of stock. It's on Amazon for $400.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was trying to get the Bleach mangas and some of the statues. Even the statues are expensive as heck for Bleach. Ichigo's form. That's very. Gosh, I was trying to get that one, but that thing looks a little bit outdated when I look at it. I have a little Half Quincy, and I know they're making a season for that, which I cannot.
Yeah, because wasn't his mom a Quincy or something like that? Like Bleach, I can't wait to read it because I know the first whole Soul Reaper arc when we fight Ruki's brother. I forgot his name, and then after that, I know about what happens, but I haven't read it, so I'm looking forward to that. And I will say, me reading all this manga, especially Naruto, is making me wonder why there's not certain statues out. We need, like you just said, we need stuff of this.
The funny thing is, I feel like right now, I mean, off the subject also, but like, people are talking more about One Piece now. Like, I'm looking at Instagram, people talk more about it. They're so excited about the new episode coming out. But I'm like, you do realize these episodes are old. They came out a long time ago. You're very late back on those. Because I saw those back in 2014. 2015.
Yeah. And, well, just finally being dubbed. Is that what it is? In English?
An English dub. But like, man, people talk about it. They love it because there's so much depth with all the characters. And I'm saying in One Piece, the one thing I wish they do on all anime, give depth to all the characters. Don't leave anybody out, because if you do that, you'll make the show boring. It will.
That's why it's 1,200 episodes, because everybody has a 30-episode background.
And not only that, Case Closed, Detective Conan, 1,013.
Right? I'm not even going to start. Which there's just so much. Which again segues into, I think, the final thing we're going to talk about tonight. Is since I'm all about manga, and it's still anime, because what we're going to talk about's been made into an anime. What is your top 4 anime villains or manga villains?
I will say my top one would be Makoto Shishio from Rurouni Kenshin. I love this guy so much because, first of all, his ideas, they're right. He's right. It's just that, sometimes the hero has to end the violence of what the reasoning is. And that's what makes you annoyed that you have to side with the good guys, because the good guys are not really the good guys. They could be the bad guys the whole time, siding for the corruption of the politicians instead of siding for the people who try to do right. But so all of his ideas, I thought he's my number 1 top favorite villain. It's something I could relate with them, like if I do believe in ideas and politics like this is how I'll think about. But if you want me to think more fictionized, I would say between Imperfect Cell or Cooler. Those guys, man, I'm sorry, I love those guys. It's just so, this is all the stuff I grew up with, and I don't know, there's just something very majestic with them. And they're like if you don't agree with me, I will beat you up to the ground.
All right, so Cooler Cell, Shishio. So Cooler Cell, we'll give you that famous fifth one. So that's your call-in pick. So what's your last two then?
My last two, I will say Nagato Pain. Between Nagato Pain and Madara Uchiha. Obito was close to it. Gen Ichimaru.
Did not nothing how I thought it sounded. Okay.
Okay, Gen Ichimaru again.
Yeah.
I would say this guy is. First of all, he's protecting the love of his life, the whole time, but he's camouflaging it with his evil side only to kill his target that has been Aizen the whole time, and I do respect that from a guy doing that. And I thought, and when he died, man, I was very disappointed because I was hoping he could help Ichigo fighting Aizen.
Mm-hmm.
He got killed off by Aizen because, man. But yeah, he's one of them. I do like his. I thought his character in Bleach was pretty good, and he was. I don't know. His camouflage gave him something that nobody can touch him. And he's with Aizen, so nobody's gonna touch him. But you cannot trust your friends. Like, keep your friends close, but your enemy closer. You know, like oh man, that's something good. Aizen, I don't know. Aizen, I was gonna pick him, but then again, the guy is a bit of a. He killed so many people. I cannot respect the guy.
So I've got 4 and a special, so 5. I would say number 5, least, I would probably be Naraku off of Inuyasha. The dude's like real name was, I think, Onigumu, and he's like dying, and he let all those demons come into him, and just the way he looks in that baboon outfit is really scary.
Yeah.
Number 4 would be Imperfect Cell. I love Imperfect Cell. More like the serial killer. I guess Cell together, you know. Imperfect Cell.
I don't know if you remember the fillers. He was more explore in depth.
That was the best filler episodes ever when they added to Imperfect Cell. Yeah.
They even tried to add some of the fillers in Kai because they knew that was a good stuff about Cell in there. But they couldn't put all of it in, but I wish it did. But like, oh man, I loved it. I love how they made him so sinister. Like,
he was a serial killer. Is the closest thing to an old-fashioned serial killer.
Like, oh man, plus I have a soft spot for that guy. He's the first villain character that I saw in the manga as a kid, and I love that design.
You know the panel I like in the manga, and you know that statue I bought. I'm looking at him right now. You know I love that form. Like
that's like a mix of the manga and anime style. Like they use those two formulas together. But like,
I wish I could find somebody. You know, at all these anime cons, how they blow up panels and stuff like that. And I've yet to find anybody that could blow up like a 12 by 18, so I can frame it and put them behind the statue or something like that. Would be great. So we got So I've got 3 more. Number 3. Man, see, now here's where, we're going to pretty much have the same list. It's Shishio Mikado again. He, not Kenshin, but I finished Kenshin. Kenshin came and I finished it. And I like the ending arc, but to me, Shishio and the whole story was more gripping. I think they should have flip-flopped the arcs or put a filler arc in between. Maybe they did in the anime. I don't remember. Between those two.
The God thing, the Son of God and thing. I thought I had some poetic moments in there, but it's not really my favorite arc to watch.
Yeah, Shishio was, and just the way they fought and how his sword was sawed off where he killed so many people, like a ripsaw, and the fat started fire. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Song in there too, like he studies you when he fights, like he's analyzing you, and that he already knows you're not ready to fight me.
Yeah.
You have to get your other personnel out of yourself.
Yeah.
Defeat me.
He wanted Batosai. He didn't want Kenshin. Number 2, it's a tough one, but it's probably Frieza for nostalgia reasons and just for, it's Frieza. Everything that was good and bad in Dragon Ball Z like revolved around Frieza. Like he was there. Yeah. Dragon Ball, of course, we didn't know because it probably didn't exist, but like everything was his doing almost.
I think Frieza and Cell they were the most they were the better arc.
Yeah,
All about it. And
Boo just had too much flashy stuff,
had some good. I thought it had some good idea in the beginning. Like he was getting better. Mr. Satan was trying to make him better.
That was probably the best part.
That worked. That was what a good way to give more depth to the low class characters you would not expect to. Mr. Satan was getting more appreciated in that arc. I thought he was getting more likable, and they was like, okay, I could take that. And then as soon as his evil side came out, like as soon as as soon as we see Super Saiyan 3 Gotenk,
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be a comedy.
Yeah, I checked out. Yeah, there was some cool fights after that, just for flashiness. But the
But
substance.
I do not hate the Boost Saga at all. I do not hate that arc. I like it for what it is because I do respect the people for making something new, try to make it fresh. I do like that because we can't always see the same thing over and over. It's gonna get old at one point, But I will say it's a lot better than what I saw in Super. I'm just gonna say it right here. I mean, Boo arcs had depth, and Goku was growing. He was not stupid, and I don't know. We can talk about Dragon Ball Z another time, but
and number one, we've talked about it, and I maybe it's because I'm reading it right now. It's probably Orochimaru, and I thought he was so sinister at the beginning. And after like just hanging out at Barnes and Noble and flipping through Baruto or whatever, it looks like he's a dad now. And I hate that spoiled it because like now I'm like, oh, he comes back and I don't know how and I don't want to know. I assume he's still in Itachi not Itachi, but Sasuke where he absorbed him somehow. But like now he's got a kid or whatever and he's still shady, but like everybody just forgave this dude that like pretty much started everything, in the series.
Or he knows he can't do anything because as long as Naruto and Sasuke are alive, because
they're gonna
they are stronger than him, and they can kill them off anytime they want to. So he knows warning right there. So like he can't do as much. But Orochimaru is just a creepy guy. I cannot. The guy. People were calling him the Michael Jackson in the high school. I remember like. I was trying to redeem the character. I was like, come on. He had other forms too. Remember when he absorbed that one slave that he kept in the cage? He had the green hair and he had the band-aid on his face. I thought that was a good host. I thought it looked really good on him. Like he was just sitting on the chair, like, and you see the candle next to him.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a creepy moment. Like
remind me of Dr. Frankenstein for some reason or whatever. Like he was putting stuff together.
That was my favorite form of him in there, and I always was questioning in Shippuden, why is he back to his normal form for some reason? Like it's like have they forgotten what happened to him in the Naruto arc? But then they've explained it when he gets punched on the face. You see the body that he's behind the skin. So basically, it's a cover that he has on it.
It's almost like a snake shedding its skin, like the other layers forming back to what it was. So that's why. But and like, I mean, I like I said, I heard he goes, pretty much.
I mean, the reason why he's the way he is because his parents died, and since his parents died, he changed.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to live forever. He was trying to he'll do anything to find immortality.
He was scared of death. I mean, that's like the biggest thing with it. Like he was scared of mortality. And while the bad guy wants to live so bad and doing all this, spoilers again, you got Jiraiya, Asuma, third Hokage, Saratobi or whatever. I mean, you've got all the good guys dying to this guy that's just petrified and because he wants to live forever.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean,
it's somewhat relatable, I guess, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I remember like for Comic-Con stuff, I used to dress up as Obito, but I haven't seen a single Orochimaru there.
Yeah. I saw a girl dressed up as Orochimaru really good, the earrings, everything, and she had blonde hair, and she didn't dye her hair. And I thought that actually looked pretty cool, I will say that. Yeah. Imagine like a demonic Orochimaru looking Elsa. Answer me this since we're on the Naruto. Does the whole? I know what Danzo did because he explained it. Is the Danzo arc after the Naruto beats Pain, or is it before it?
After.
Okay, So that's in the
Remember
set I don't have.
Remember when after Pain got defeated, Tsunade was in a coma, and because of that,
Like I said, I watched the highlight fights on YouTube because I didn't want to watch the whole show. So I remember some of it, but not all of it.
they thought they would need another Okage, so they also came up.
Okay, and that was his deal all along. You know, he wanted to do that from the beginning. All right. But
I hate the guy. I don't like the guy. I don't give a damn about him. But because the guy, all he does is stealing stuff from other people. He stole the Sharingans from people and the other stuff.
I remember he had a bunch on his arms in the episodes I watched.
The thing is, and the reason why he could have killed off Sasuke if he could, but he was off guard because he knew even if I kill Sasuke, Obito will kill me.
Yeah, I remember watching those episodes because I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
sitting there, watching the fight, and he knew he had no chance. So, yeah, that's what happened because that's why he took his time removing his arm because otherwise he could have killed him off completely.
Okay.
But, yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Trying to, like I said, getting Bleach there and the next box set I will get to finish off Naruto. I think it's out of stock right now. It's not like out of print because it always shows back up for sticker price, but at the moment I think it was out of stock. But I think it's
yeah. I mean, I have most of them. I'm just missing some of them because I stopped continuing it after a while. I think I stopped at issue 59, I think.
Hey. Okay, I'll ask you something later off stream, then we'll talk later. But, I see the T-Rex looking at me. Oh, man, that's on my list, too. Your T-Rex back there, yeah.
It's so small, but like, yeah, I like them all. The T-Rex. Obviously, that's the best T-Rex out there in the market. I mean,
I want them all, but if I had to choose one, yeah.
I mean, Al beats definitely Sideshow. Sideshow, I'm sorry, it's too small, and the paint is not what's on the prototype.
Yeah,
a lot better. And the Prime One Studio is the second best, I will say right now. I like the rain effects that they gave him.
Yeah.
But when I saw the actual product, there was something a little bit off about it. It felt too dull, a little bit too dull. And
I still want it, but yeah, that's one of the cases where the prototype is, like an 11 out of 10, and the product's like maybe a 7,
But then our studio is coming up with another Rex, which is a little bit smaller, unfortunately, than this guy, and it goes for like more expensive price than this one, which is the biggest one out there.
That's how it is.
And I'm like, okay, so why are you charging almost like $900? So 115, 120 scale versus the 110 scale, which was $600. No, like I feel like the older product looked a lot better. Like they were better executed because it was their first time doing it, and they paid more attention to the detail. But now, they're like a little bit. I feel like once you're doing good on something, you're slacking off a little bit.
Yeah,
most of the companies like they do that. But man, I have the Raptors in there. I don't think I will buy any of the Raptors because I have all 3 of them. I put Blue there, but like he's just there, like yeah. And I think I don't know. It has a nostalgia for me. Reminds me of Kenner for me, like the Kenner's toys that we had back in the 90s. But like. Yeah,
and I appreciate us doing you getting on here again with me, man, and doing part 2, episode 2. We'll have to come up a name for this.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a pleasure to have you here, man.
Yeah, man. We'll figure out a name if we want to keep doing it or whatever, because we got plenty of things, and I'll text message you some ideas I got. Anything you got with me?
Yeah, I mean, we could if we had to talk about everything, we could go on and on and on with it. But we have to stick to a schedule. We'll talk about some stream and some other horror stuff, then anime villains.
Just to round it all off. I like the format though, how we're going from horror to anime and whatever. Like I said, there's so many walks of collectors, and some might only like one thing, and then there's people like us, that we sit here and talk about Marvel movies and Star Wars and everything, and then flip over and talk about horror again. That's what we do.
I mean, it gives
But
a quick motive too.
but all right, man. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time, man. You have a good one.
All right, man. It was nice having you here. This was Kaiju Storm and the Geek Room Life here. Please support his channel. We make some great reviews and videos about his unboxing and everything. I'm sure you have new stuff coming up too. Support him for that. And support my channel, Kaiju Storm, and my group, Monsters with Attitudes YouTube channel, and Kaiju Collectors Facebook page. Adrian, Thomas, Casey, Ben, Cody, Charles, all the members responsible for that page. Support them very well. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you later, man.
See you guys.